And welcome into the Wednesday edition, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping. For homes and businesses that want to stand out, not blend in, visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Wednesday morning. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Joe Rexrode, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Thanks for asking.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Ian, how we doing? What's going on?
Good morning. Doing just fine, thanks. I actually had this thought yesterday about the Tigers, Detroit Tigers.
Oh,
just
good.
looking over through some baseball scores. I saw that they was thinking about weekend winners and that whole sweep of the White Sox. I was kind of glad that we ended weekend winners because I had the feeling Joe would have gone all Tigers sweep over
I think you would have
in the individual picks, and so that might have saved you second place there, Robby.
Could have.
That's right. Yeah, that would have been 4 quick points for me right there, man. Would have locked one of them. Oh well.
And I might have gone White Sox over Tigers just to spite Joe. Then I'd have really been in trouble.
Yeah. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
I'll
But
just be in last
doing good.
place.
Kept an eye on some of the soccer, some of the NBA draft, and yeah, it should be a fun Wednesday. Beautiful day, beautiful weather yesterday. Got outside.
Same.
So, yeah.
Yep. I would like to give a shout out this morning to a close personal friend of mine who every time she comes into town makes it a point to listen to our program, and I appreciate it. But T Swift is in town, and I told her I'd give a shout out this morning, so I appreciate Taylor for listening to the show.
Yeah, nice. I think she might be one of our texters, but with a different name. So
yeah.
So I don't want to blow that cover.
Yeah, she's Tim who calls in. Who everybody accuses of being a congressman. It's actually not.
Yeah,
it's Taylor Swift.
And that's the thing. Yes, a beautiful singing voice, but also incredible range.
Yeah, there's a lot
when it comes to impersonating other voices.
It's a wide skill set. I don't know what to tell you.
So tight end she's saying, because I know, at some venue.
I have no idea where she was. I've just seen videos of her hopping on stage with Lainey Wilson. So.
Well, I should go check out the Tennessean. Taylor Swift appeared on stage on June 23rd.
I mean, it's got to say
that would be
right?
Tuesday, you idiots.
They've got to remain consistent on that front, don't they?
I mean, I'm not going to let this go. I had a rant about it. How long ago was that? When I ranted a few months ago, probably a couple months ago,
a little while ago.
I'm not letting this go, man. I'm not letting this go because it's an embarrassment. And again, look around at every other website in the world, and notice how none of them do that.
Well, also, it's 2026. Just things are different than they used to be. You don't have to. This is not 1940. You don't have to do this anymore. You just do. Oh, yep. They did. This happened on Tuesday. Thank you.
But in 1940, it was like there was a date on the newspaper.
That's true.
There's a date on the thing.
You can go find
it.
You
say the day. How did we get to this? You're just talking about Taylor Swift. I don't know. Anyway, yes, exciting that she's in town, and they're getting married. So they're getting married.
I don't think anybody knows.
They're getting married in New York. That's the thing, or is that just a total?
I don't think anybody knows anything about this.
Because supposedly they told some people in New York something, right?
Nah.
It was going to be some venue, but it's like a secret. It's like an NDA.
They made people sign like an NDA.
Yeah, but maybe it's actually in your town. You never know.
Could be.
You don't know that it's not. Right next to a fireworks tent.
Doesn't never hurts to zig when everyone thinks you're going to zag,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to throw people off.
So someone says, I saw the tight end bus driving around downtown around midnight. Okay. Well,
that's probably
that's good. Pick them up from the bar. That's good.
Well, appreciate Travis and Taylor listening to the show today, and then we'll have our number one celebrity contributor today, Kuharsky, will be with us later in the show. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll be. I'm sure they'll be tuned in for that.
Yeah.
What's Kuharsky think about T Swift? I don't remember.
I don't know. It's a good question.
He only likes Springsteen, basically.
I'm so tired of seeing her on the TV every time the football game's played.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out what happens. We got a lot going on the program today. We'll get into the NBA draft here in just a second. Go through the highlights of what went down last night on that front. NHL making some news on multiple fronts yesterday. We will get into that a little bit later this hour. And an update in the Brendan Sorsby situation from the National Football League, where they basically said, "Hey, Brendan, nice try. No thanks." We'll get into that a little bit later in the show as well.
Good luck, Brendan.
So looking forward to that. Take your thoughts in the meantime. 615-737-1025. Our phone number, 615-737-1025. Joe, the first round of the NBA draft has come and gone because, good Lord, we need 2 nights of the NBA draft when there's 2 rounds, but that's what we're doing now, apparently. But an interesting first round last night. We talked about it heading into or to end our show yesterday. And it's a heck of a class heading into this. Like, on paper, this should be a pretty darn good NBA draft. And we talked about the idea yesterday of Cameron Boozer ending up on Memphis. Well, that's exactly what happened. Boozer goes number 3 overall to the Memphis Grizzlies. So they've got Cameron Boozer in the fold. You look down the rest of the first round. Nate Ament, I guess, was technically drafted by the Heat. He will be going to the Milwaukee Bucks as a part of the Giannis trade. So Ament, with the NBA, for some reason in 2026, can't just identify where people are going. Like, I'm looking on ESPN right now. It's like Nate Ament, and there's a Heat logo next to it, even though everybody in the world knows he's not going to the Heat. Yeah. He's going to the Bucks. So it's just stupid. But the NBA's already done this.
So stupid.
But Nate Ament going 13th overall. So wondered where he would go, whether or not he would be in the top 10. He did not make top 10, but will end up in Milwaukee with the Bucks as they try to navigate their post-Giannis era.
Yeah, so you got some rebuilding situations there. You got and Burris from Arizona also with him. Am I right?
I believe you're correct. Yes,
I have that right. Yeah. So those are good building blocks. But obviously it's a rebuild. Giannis, he's been the heart and soul of that franchise for a long time. So that's a rebuild situation. And then Boozer's coming into Memphis, and everybody expects Ja Morant is going to be traded. And so it's kind of a new era for them too. I just, again, said it yesterday, but I just really like that for Memphis. He's going to be that really good, really boring player for a long time in the NBA, and a winner. So I like that. I mean, I think that's a great building block for them as they kind of step into a new era.
They got Bennett Sturtz as well, the guard from Iowa. So a couple of first-round picks for the Memphis Grizzlies, which, again, no, they didn't. I'm sitting here looking at this. That's traded to OKC. So it's just another Grizzlies picture.
Yeah, OKC gets a Daimara, which is just like, it's one of those seriously like, oh my God. I think this happens sometimes, like the Ravens, the NFL draft. I was like, did you really let them get that guy in the draft?
That's how I felt when they drafted Malachi Stark. So I was like, oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. And so that's perfect for them. You got a 7'3" body to throw at Wemby, so that poor little Chet doesn't have to take the whole beating himself. And Mara, I think, is going to be really good, man. So then they get Sturtz, who Sturtz is going to be good. Sturtz has got length, and he shoots the crap out of the ball. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So OKC's just further loading up.
Yeah, it's like both of those guys are going to matter for them, even though they're already so loaded and deep, and it's actually kind of unfair. Also unfair is that I think as the one thing we've known about the NBA for decades now is, Sacramento is basically Siberia. So Darius Acuff, we enjoyed watching you play basketball. I hope you get traded out of there at some point so we can watch you again.
Yeah.
Other than that little era when they had, Stojakovic and Weber like that little run against Shaq, calling them the Queens instead of the Kings.
Yeah.
And that was it. Other than that, it's Siberia. So, man, get out of there as soon as you can, Darius.
I mean, they've got to be up there in terms of like the most irrelevant franchises in sports. Like we've talked about this before. Like, to me, Ottawa's up there. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, they do have a team there, dude. Yeah, great, Ottawa.
The NFL doesn't really have that because it's just so everybody.
The closest one would probably be Arizona,
Cardinals, and the Jags. Kind of get a. But to me, like that league is just, it's so in your face. So, but yeah, the Kings, the Senators. Who would be the baseball?
I've always kind of thought Padres. I'm like, oh yeah, the Padres. They're out there because they've just never done anything in my life.
Yeah, like we beat them in the World Series in '84. So, I feel, they had Tony Gwynn, but that's an age thing.
It's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. I guess in modern, but over a long period of time. Of course, the Marlins weren't even around then. I don't know. That's an interesting one.
It is.
But I think
we would all agree
the
Sacramento Kings are on the list.
Yeah. And so, man, I was like, no. Meanwhile, Kingston Flemings, man, that's good. I really love that for the Hawks. Really love that for the Hawks.
Why are we doing 2 nights of this NBA draft?
I have no
with
clue.
2 rounds?
It's just another thing. Like you said, can we get to the point? Because they've always done the draft thing and then the trade thing, and instead of just like the pick is traded. So like this team picked it. Like, what are we talking about here? We picked them for them and then we traded them. No, just that's stupid. They've always done that. They've never done this. Night 2, everybody. This is not. You're not the NFL. I mean, don't do this.
Were people clamoring for, another night of NBA draft stuff in the second round?
There's no way they were. And I feel like this is one of those mistakes where maybe we could all help them not just like we're going to keep screaming at Gannett until they stop doing this stupid say the date instead of the day. No one watch the draft tonight, please. No one watch the draft. Promise me. Because maybe the ratings will be so bad that they'll just go right back to just great. Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, poor Isaiah Evans, a guy who I thought would go late in the draft, got to sit there all day. And then, by the way, he's a green room invitee. So that's fun for him. It's ridiculous. 1 night, 2 rounds.
That's the thing. The NHL has 2 days of it. They got 7 rounds. It's like, good grief. You're not going to fit 7 rounds into one day, but can we just
right?
It's 2 rounds of a draft.
The NFL can do whatever they want. They go one day and then they go 2 and 3.
There'll probably be a day in the not too distant future when the NBA or when the NFL does 4 days. It's like, all right, we're going to go first round, second, third round, then we're going to go 4th, 5th round, then the last day will be 6th, 7th round. It's like, oh, great. That'll be awesome.
I mean, 7 rounds, 7 days. Why not?
Well, I guess so.
Dylan and Aniak, by the way, says everyone outside of Nashville would call the Titans that irrelevant. I mean, the Titans would be on the list.
I don't know that everyone outside of Nashville would say that. There would be some.
They've had uprisings and some players that, to me, would distinguish them a little bit. I mean, the Cardinals did make 1 Super Bowl, I guess.
They did.
It was a while ago. But I think that, I think the Cardinals are exactly where you start.
615-737-1025. Our phone number. We'll take your reaction to the NBA draft last night. A lot of stuff going on in the NHL. We will get into that throughout the hour as well. All that coming up. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Somebody putting the Detroit Lions, Paul and the Burrow, on the irrelevant franchise list.
Yeah, so I disagree. So they're a different list. They're on the, like, I would put the Browns and Lions in the same category, which is they're relevant. They have big followings. People talk about them. You know about them.
Yeah.
But they're mismanaged and they're bad.
Like the capital of that would be the Jets. Big market,
yeah,
big fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows they suck.
Whereas like the Cardinals, Jags, I think the Titans would probably have to
They'd
go
be
in there too, of the smaller followings and often just forgotten about.
Yeah.
Those are the two. There's a
Panthers.
a line there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panthers is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And all those teams have had different moments of being good. I mean, it's the NFL.
Sure.
It's kind of designed for you to eventually get good.
And some of, other than the Cardinals, but although they moved around, but like Panthers, Jags, Titans with the move, we're talking fan bases of around 25, 30 years old,
yeah,
as opposed to these franchises like the Lions and older ones that have a century-ish.
Although Jacksonville about to, move around and, temporarily go to Orlando. So could add to that fan base, could add to the reach there,
It's a Mickey Mouse franchise if I've ever seen one. Perfect. Corey, I hope you're listening. Do you proud.
Oh, boy. I mean, if there were enough Jags fans to really get mad at us, I think we'd have done it by now. We used to have one when we first started the show, like Todd in Jacksonville would call in all the time.
Where
and he was like the only Jacksonville Jags fan I'd ever, heard from. So I'm sure they exist. I don't know that I've ever run into somebody in the wild and they were like, yeah, I root for the Jags. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. Like you don't.
It doesn't happen very often.
We used to have an intern here. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. A few years back.
Big Jags fan?
He was a Jacksonville fan. Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't happen very often,
Yeah, you don't see. You know what? I knew
people get lost in that milky pool, and you just never hear from them again.
There was a kid. I could name him. I could name drop him at the Lansing State Journal, an intern. Shout out to Eric McKinney.
There you go.
Jags fan, Michigan State grad, Jags fan. Always wore the Jags stocking cap because I was just thinking like you never see people with the gear, you know. But he did. He had that Jags stocking cap, man.
Yeah,
and that was like
That's
long
impressive.
time ago. So yeah, there's not a lot. There's just not a lot. I feel like you see, Titans more than that. I saw Andrew was like somewhere in Europe and he was like, can't get away from this. And it's like someone with a Titans hat on. So
yeah, people
are mad at him now.
Hey,
because he
wants to get away from it.
Yeah, exactly. Always complains.
I'm just glad,
Texans.
Jeffrey Simmons should be in a good mood. So Andrew's not going to be in danger when he comes back for training camp. I don't think.
Let's hope. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
You would think so.
I mean, I don't think the Texans are on that list.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, some of that is like Houston is an enormous city.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're right. It's a huge. It's different, way different in terms of market. Yeah, if you want to talk about market, I mean, like it's a way bigger market than like the Colts. But the Colts have a history of success, and they sustain success for a long time. I don't know. I kind of would think about the Texans in that group. How much of that city? There are some is still like there's some people who hung with this franchise.
Some, I mean,
probably not. I don't know.
I think more are just mad that they wear the colors here now, and it's like, yeah, right. I can't get over that. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Houston doesn't come now. Granted, I watch the Titans play the Texans twice a year, so they're not irrelevant to me because we watch them all the time. So maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, we're an AFC South outpost, so we have to watch a lot of AFC South football,
which has been a treat over the years.
Yeah. They're it's debatable.
Michael and Madison wondering if the Jags are taking the Milky Pool with them to Orlando. I don't think so. I think they're going to have to go poolless for a year.
Yeah, but
is the new stadium going to have a pool in it?
I don't know. But I will tell you, there's plenty of Milky Pools in Orlando.
Oh,
so, like, they won't have to look far.
No.
Plenty of, like,
really at every turn.
Greenish pools, really. Actually, a lot of those in Orlando.
You might even prefer the milky pool.
Yeah, the milky pool. I mean, it might be better than it's the kiddie pool. Great place to if you don't want to walk your kid to the bathroom.
I do. The Jags ended up on some random CBS game last year. I guess the Titans either weren't playing that week or I don't remember what the situation was. I just remember walking by the TV and the Jags were on. I was like, oh, look, the Jags. And I'm telling you, within like 7 seconds, they flashed over that pool and it was just jam-packed in there. And I was like, here we are. That's all I need to see. Look at how many people are in this pool. That's how you know the Jags are back.
Intern Grant makes a good point here. New stadiums, they should incorporate a lazy river around the field.
I kind of like that.
Wow.
Especially like if you're Jacksonville. Yeah. That's something different.
Can't you just put like, just a nice little path around the field?
I like that.
A little lazy river.
Could
make that happen?
Could you do that? And the people in the lazy river would have a view of the field at all times?
Absolutely.
You'd have to elevate it.
Predemption says, I never see him anymore, but there was an Air Canada baggage handler that I used to see at my job that was a huge Jags fan.
Okay.
How many huge Jags fans are in Canada, do we think? He's got to be the only one, right?
Not many. Again, I told you of one in East Lansing, Michigan. So here and there, you'll find the.
Well, this is more of an expansive fan base than maybe I thought.
You'll find the randos. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe we're selling them short. I don't know.
I mean, the days of Mark Brunell and Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith and all those guys are pretty good.
The Jags
except when they played the Titans.
Yeah, the Jags have been really good to some of my fantasy teams over the years. I mean, Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor.
Keenan McCardell.
Yeah, sure.
Maurice Jones-Drew. They've had some guys.
They have, but you're going back.
Yeah, a long way.
That's the thing. They're also the defending AFC South champion.
That's true. They just won the division.
By the way, yeah.
They've got what I think may be a good head coach and potentially a super genius general manager or potentially a moron. I don't know yet.
Yeah, this year is really going to be really interesting. It's going to be like one or the other. I feel like we're going to know. Like I feel like it's going to be idiot, but seriously, what if he is smarter than everybody else?
I just refuse to believe it. I hope he's not. Although, I said this last year with all the Duval stuff and this weirdo they've got running the organization now from the general manager spot. I said, there's really one job if Brian Callahan wants to keep his job, you got to beat Jacksonville twice. I don't think he ever made it to the Jacksonville game. So, yeah. Oops. Sorry, Brian.
He didn't lose to them.
He did not lose to them. I don't think he ever made it to the game. But they did not beat Jacksonville at all last year. Got to change that this year, Salah. That's the other part of this.
Now you got that.
Salah,
could that be a rivalry?
Cohen stare down that's coming. If I was Cohen, I'd get out of there. I don't think you're going to win that battle.
Yeah, like I wonder if obviously everybody's saying the right things, but like, is it will we see that manifest itself? Again,
I'd say I hope they kind of lean into it a little bit more.
Well, I don't think Cohen will.
I hope he does.
I think he's legitimately afraid, and he should be. Like, how far apart were they during the coach picture? Do we know?
That's a good question.
Like, they got overshadowed by Vrabel's hijinks, but
escapades.
Yeah, but yeah. Like, did they hang? Were they both?
Well, I don't know. Was Jay Glazer in that one? Did he make it in the coach photo?
Were they both at the? Were either of them at the Jay Glazer little grab ass at the pool?
I don't know.
Or did they go to the Vrabel party?
I don't know.
That had no video. I don't know. I don't think they would have gone to the same party, right? You would think that they would have gone to different,
probably different ones.
Cohen probably stayed in his room.
I'm trying to find a photo of this thing and see where they were.
Cohen hit out at the bar at Chili's.
Well, whoever posts these photos, they post them from 6 miles away. Like, I got to do some zooming in here to see.
Yeah, it is
who's who.
It is really hard to. It is really hard to tell who a lot of people are in that.
Well, I found Salah. You'll be stunned to know that he's standing next to Kyle Shanahan, so that checks.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen is nowhere near Robert Salah. I think they're on the legitimate opposite sides.
Yep, there we go. He's probably got a restraining order on him or something. They can't even shake after the game.
615-737-1025, our phone number. I don't know how we got off on that, but
I don't know.
Sometimes it happens.
I hope they fight.
Big week in the NHL. A lot of stuff going down on the trade front. There's potential expansion news that we will get into as well. All that coming up. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Today, the Nashville Sounds taking on the Gwinnett Stripers at First Horizon Park. First pitch at 6:35. You can catch all the action on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, Maple Street Biscuit Company, Mad Fireworks, and Social Cantina. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. It's a busy day in the NHL yesterday. A lot of trades going down. Brady Tkachuk was introduced down there in Florida. Alongside the Panthers brass for his new team.
Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man down there. And this came out yesterday, too. The NHL is officially kind of starting the process of exploring the idea of putting a second team in Texas. So, obviously, the Dallas Stars exist. And now, what would be the 33rd NHL franchise, should it play out this way, a potential expense point, we're down the road a little bit in terms of the potential part of it. Now, apparently the approximate cost of this venture with Houston or Austin would be $3.5 billion. So you've gone from, I want to say Vegas, if I remember correctly, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $600 million as an expansion fee. And then like Seattle got up to $2 billion, and now we're at $3.5 billion. So, I mean, look, the NHL's doing well. It's making money. There's no doubt about that. They've identified a family here, the Friedkin family, who is the prospective owner.
Friedkin?
Friedkin.
I was going to say they're freaking rich.
Yeah. Of the new owner. What I don't know if it's going to be Houston, Texas. Both markets need a new arena. So they're kind of sorting through all those things. Houston or Texas, I said. Houston or Austin. They're both in Texas. So my question to you is simply this. This would be 33 teams in the NHL. My guess is if it gets to 33, they're not stopping at 33. Like, you got to get, an even number at some point here. Do we really need this? Like, if you're an NHL, if you're a hockey fan, do you want more expansion? Does the NHL at some point not have to look at this and say, all right, I understand that there's big time money involved in all this, but at what point do you run the risk of making your league too big? Like, how does that look? And would a 33rd team do that in your mind, Joe Rexrode?
That's a good question. So let's, first of all, NFL's 32, NBA 30, MLB.
MLB's 30 as well.
Yeah. Seems like that's kind of the sweet spot, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
granted, the NHL does have, franchises in another country.
Right.
Which is different.
Yeah. Like, I mean, MLB technically does too.
So
does NBA, but you're talking about one, right? Like, it's Toronto.
Toronto is like,
Like, MLB used to have Montreal.
Detroit. I call it East Detroit.
Maybe one day MLB ends up back in Montreal. We'll see. But to your point, I mean, there's a bunch of franchises in Canada, in the NHL. So it is different
markets. Which takes away some markets that other leagues are in.
Correct.
In our country.
Well, I mean, we're talking about one right now. It's kind of objectively amazing that the NHL isn't already in Houston. I mean, it's the fourth largest city in America.
Yeah.
So there is that. So, like, I understand it from that perspective. Like, if you're the NHL looking at it, if it's Houston, you're like, I mean, just look at the population around here. Why would you not try to put a team in there? As a fan, I look at this and I say, all right, well, it's already incredibly difficult to win the championship in this sport. I mean, you're talking about the most difficult, I think you would agree, the most difficult championship to win, just from the standpoint of you got to have so many things go right. You got to find some way in this 2-month grind of a playoff to stay healthy, or at least healthy enough to win. Like, it's already very difficult to win the championship. And if, just going math wise, you keep adding all these teams, it just becomes more and more and more difficult when you're adding more teams. And the other part of it is this, like, the NHL is in a great spot. I think the game is as good as it's ever been. But at what point do you add so many teams where you look at it and you just say, well, you're diluting the talent pool? Like, it's just there's not enough world-class players to look around the league and be like, yeah, like every one of these guys are good. Like part of being in a professional sports league is the exclusivity of it, right? Like you got to have there's a certain benchmark of player you got to be able to get in the league and to stick in the league. And if you keep adding all these teams, like I just think that's going to go down at some point.
Yeah. No, that's always something to consider. I mean, to me, I totally hear you. I also, I feel like one more team, is that really like, are we going to notice an overall like decline in the quality of play? I also though think that like 33, doesn't that mean you're going to go to 34?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So now you're
well, and you
you're
could
pushing it.
Well, and you could view
there.
it for like one more team or two more teams, but it wasn't that long ago. It was 30, right? Like 10 years ago, there was 30 teams in the NHL.
Yeah.
And then, you're talking about, a decade, maybe 12, 13 years later, there's 34. Like that's a pretty big jump.
And I think honestly, maybe some of for me, not viewing it like that is just because it's been like the game itself has become more fun to watch, So I guess that maybe that glosses over the dilution of talent a little bit.
Maybe so. And look, there's a ton of really good young players in the league. And I think the game is in a good spot. I just wonder, like the bottom part of the league guys, are they going to be worse? Like is the talent gap from the top to the bottom of who's playing in the league, is that going to be worse at any point? Look, this is going to happen. I mean, like I said, for the NHL to announce this, it means this has gotten down the road a little bit. So this is going to happen. Like I don't know if it's going to be Houston or if it's going to be Austin, but they're going to end up in one of them, and they're going to expand to 33. And when you expand to 33, the next thing you're going to do is, all right, well, let's even this thing up and get to 34. And I don't know where that's going to be. I mean, people have been talking about Quebec City for 25 years. It hasn't happened yet again to this point. Could you go? I mean, somebody on the YouTube chat's talking about like round 3 in Atlanta, which I think the NHL would love to do. And the NHL has talked about one day getting back in Arizona. So I don't know what they're going to do when it comes to where they're going to put the 34th team.
Hamilton, Ontario.
After that. I mean, I also would say, you keep adding all these teams. I mean, look at who they've added. Vegas, well, that's out west. Seattle, that's out west. If you're adding Houston and/or Austin, that's going to have to be out west. Well, at some point, you're going to have to move somebody that's in the west, maybe Nashville, out to the east, because you can't just keep adding all these Western teams and be like, well, figure it out. Everybody's in the Western Conference. So I don't know what they're going to do about that, but it's just very interesting to me where all this is headed in the NHL.
Yeah. No, it's a fair concern. Like you said, it's going to happen. It's an interesting thing, too, the Houston versus Austin. In my mind, it's like, well, it has to be Houston. I mean, like you said, that's one of our biggest cities. Austin is, I mean, I love Austin, but, it's just, it seems kind of strange. I don't know, though. Maybe just a city that size having that one team ends up being better for like just fan passion. I don't know. That's an interesting.
Texas football and Austin hockey.
Yeah, the Austin Toreros. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, that part of it's kind of intriguing of trying to picture the hockey team in Austin. I think Houston makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Now, I mean, there'd be a natural rival there with Dallas. Like, some of it makes sense. Again, I'm not surprised that they're looking at this. I just wonder if this happens and they eventually get to 34, I hope somebody around there has enough sense to say, all right, that needs to be it. Like, we don't need to be going to 40 teams in the NHL.
Yeah. Like if you start getting a few teams beyond other pro leagues, and I think you need to probably look around and pump the brakes there. Texter saying Nashville, maybe like you said, maybe the team goes east like Columbus and Detroit did with Vegas and Seattle. Someone else. Devin from Dover, sick of giving up players. Only take from playoff teams. There we go. How about that?
Nashville SC did a little swapperoo, if I'm remembering that correctly. They used to be in the West.
I believe that's correct. Yeah,
and now they're in the East.
Yep.
Yeah, the Red Wings. I was like, why are we in the West? And now it's like, oh, we're in the East. Actually, it's not we. We suck.
Good times right now in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, it's going well. But hey, Lion season's coming right up, everybody. Actually, I do like who the Pistons drafted, though. Corey, nice pick for the Pistons.
Good. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Some trades that continue to go down in the NHL, plus another big one that may be coming. We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025, The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. The NHL draft later this week. Predators are currently scheduled to pick number 10. We've seen some moves this week in the NHL. Joe, we said it, like it could be a very busy week, a very busy offseason in the NHL when it comes to the trade front. We saw Brady Tkachuk get moved earlier this week. And then yesterday, just a bunch of moves, like the Blackhawks traded for Bowen Byram with the Sabres. They gave up the 4th overall pick as a part of that trade. So Buffalo moves up to number 4. You saw Nemec get traded from New Jersey to the Flames yesterday. Jordan Kyrou got traded from the Blues to the Capitals yesterday. There's a lot of moves that went down. William Eklund got traded from the Sharks, and the Sharks now have the number 9 pick. So Ottawa uses the picks that they got from the Brady Tkachuk trade immediately and tries to upgrade their team with Eklund coming in up there in Ottawa. So a lot of movement already in the NHL draft part of this, but busy week so far on the trade front in the NHL. I would expect, Joe, that's going to continue the next few days, and you could see some more moves. And now there's a lot of scuttlebutt out there about maybe another potential big move that could be going down. We talked about it earlier this week. The Brady Tkachuk thing has people talking, and I've mentioned the Team USA group chat.
Yeah.
Well, add another one to the list. Apparently, Columbus is concerned enough about Zach Werenski and kind of where he stands to meet with him. And Elliot Friedman put this out there yesterday. After the NHL draft, the Columbus Blue Jackets plan on meeting with Werenski to discuss his future with the organization. He has 2 years remaining on his deal. And my guess is, like, if you're already that concerned about it, meeting with 2 years left, I mean, he's not even eligible to sign a contract extension until July 1st of next year. So if you're already meeting with it, that tells me that maybe behind the scenes, he's like, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. And Columbus just saw the return that Ottawa got for Brady Tkachuk. And now there's a lot of scuttlebutt out there that if that meeting goes the way that people think it will, which is basically Werenski saying, yeah, hey guys, in 2 years, I ain't re-signing with you guys, then could the Zach Werenski, who just won the Norris Trophy, by the way, trade chatter pick up?
Yeah, it's interesting. So if you're them, what's the return, now with him with 2 years on the deal versus, doing like a trade deadline thing or something like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would think having 2 years left on the deal would make the return pretty high, right? Like you're talking about Norris Trophy winning defenseman who, how old is he? Werenski can't be more than 28. He's 28. There you go. So a 28-year-old Norris Trophy winning defenseman in the prime of his career with a deal right now that I think is in the neighborhood of $9.5 million per year. And the cap's going to go up. The next deal he signs, he's going to make, I don't know, $13-14 million a year, something like that. So yeah. I would think the return would be pretty high at that point.
Yeah. I like, I like the excitement of it makes it more interesting in the offseason when players can sort of dictate things like this, but you also feel bad for like a franchise like Columbus.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, in Ottawa, good players come in and then, you're just going to have to let them go and keep trying to rebuild. And then, hope some of the other players don't get too good.
Well, I just think it shows you though, that it's like, it wasn't that long ago that people looked at Florida and they said, God, that place sucks. Like it's a terrible place to play. They get no fan support. It's an organization that just trips all over themselves and they can't put together any sort of winning team. And then all of a sudden, you draft a couple of guys that end up being good players. You get some people in at the general manager spots that, have a clue of what they're doing. And now it's the most desirable place to play in the league. Like Florida's on everybody's list of places they want to go. And look, some of that is as simple as the taxes and the weather.
Yeah,
some of it is.
Right.
But it's not all of it.
But also they win.
They win. And that's so, look, for the majority of my life, in, watching and covering the NHL. Florida is not a place you've wanted to be. It's like, I don't know about Florida, but now it is. So I just think it shows you that if you run your organization well, for the most part, people are going to want to stay.
Yeah.
Now, it is interesting. I mean, people on the text line are pointing out, like, all these USA guys, basically, to differing degrees, I don't know, forcing their way out. I mean, we'll see what happens with Werenski. He may meet with them and say, well, let's see how this year goes, and I'll sign an 8-year extension.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea.
Maybe this meeting is them getting out in front of it.
Could be.
It doesn't mean that it's happening or he's already rumbling.
Right.
I don't know.
But, I mean, when you look at kind of reading the tea leaves, and I know the Quinn Hughes stuff happened before the Olympics, but he left Vancouver, ended up in Minnesota. Larkin is trying to force his way out of Detroit. Kachuk just forced his way out of Ottawa and got to Florida. Like, reading the tea leaves, it kind of feels like that's what Werenski is doing too. So, I mean, honestly, I kind of like it. Like, I like a little bit more drama in the NHL in the offseason. Not that it's been like, a total lack of it, but more player movement, I think, is pretty fun in the offseason.
It is.
So I'm cool with it.
Look, I think the NBA, I think some of the NBAs, obviously the playoffs are great. Regular season is, people complain about it, and it's a bore, especially now. But the off seasons for the NBA have been incredible soap operas at times. We know the NFL's figured out trying to make everything a big deal, but I think the more stuff like this, I think it's good for your overall product. You talk about things that can hurt the overall product, like in college sports. College sports, it's too much like this. Like, although, I guess there is a ton of interest now. Portal day, maybe player movement, who's coming in, draft, all that stuff. I mean, if you go by numbers, and I'm not talking to just like ratings. I mean, readership and all that stuff. I mean, that people are into that, and it does feel like the NHL has been the boring league, for a long time in that regard compared to the other ones.
I also wonder, in the midst of all this, what is this? We had Adam Kimmelman on yesterday, and he talked. I mean, there's some intriguing guys in the draft here. It does make me wonder how teams view this year's draft, because, I mean, you just had Chicago give up the 4th overall pick to Buffalo. You've had Ottawa land a top 10 pick in their trade with Kachuk and basically say, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to use that. And I get it from Ottawa's perspective. Like, they're trying to keep this thing going and moving here. I get it from Florida trying to get out of there. They don't care about a top 10 pick right now. They're trying to maximize their window. But there's reporting out there that maybe San Jose is open to moving off pick number 2. Like, it makes me wonder, like, do people just look at this draft and say, yeah, I don't know, man, it's not great.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I got excited for it yesterday, talking through but yeah, that is an interesting thought. So Byram here. So is there actually some concern that, like, the texters, like, they have, they gave it up. They haven't got an extension with him yet. I mean, that is coming, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do this if that weren't going to be part of it, right?
Correct. I mean, what's he got? 1 year left on his deal. So, I mean, I don't even think he can sign one until
July 1st.
July 1st.
Yeah.
So he'll get one.
That is a good thought, though. I mean, I like, Neil, it'd be funny. It would be very funny to watch the Blackhawks continue to flounder.
It would be. There's no doubt. Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of movement going on right now in the NHL, and it's quiet on the Predators front. I do wonder, while this is going down, and if this continues, and look, the expectation for everything I'm reading is this is going to continue. Like, there's going to be more trades that happen, more movement that's coming.
Let's get the Preds going.
Predators involve themselves in this. That's going to be really interesting to see over the next week or two.
9:07 a.m. today.
Could be.
Get ready.
615-737-1025, our phone number. A massive development in the Brendan Sorsby story yesterday. We will get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Wednesday morning, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping, outdoor patios, landscaping design, lawn maintenance, and more. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com will be with us later in the program. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans and FIFA World Cup with PK a little bit later in the show. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Is he our resident soccer expert?
Well, I mean, Ian knows soccer well too.
Sure. Yeah. I'd say Paul is a notch above me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Frazier, deep into the soccer.
Yeah, that's true. Frazier
Yeah,
would be.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
covers the Nashville SC games. He goes to the games and covers them a lot.
PK versus Frazier in a soccer off. What do you think? Should we, throw some trivia questions?
Well, I
at
mean,
him?
one time Frazier abducted PK and sent him to a basement where there's a bunch of like meat cutting equipment out there. So
that's right. I forgot about that.
The meat locker.
yeah, the meat locker.
How much soccer did they talk?
I don't know. Good question.
Probably a lot, I guess, right?
I would have to think so.
We'll
At
pick
least some.
PK's brain. He's an expert on so many things.
That's right. He is. The latest development in the Brendan Sorsby case, and I guess for the moment, the final development in the Brendan Sorsby case, the NFL has decided that there will be no supplemental draft in 2026. So we've talked about this, Joe. I mean, they've always had the right to make whatever decision they want to make when it comes to whether or not to hold a supplemental draft. I think a lot of people, based on like Sorsby and the attention and the quality of prospect that he potentially could be, thought that it would happen. It has not. And the NFL put out a statement related to this, the letter to Brendan Sorsby that people got their hands on yesterday. It's very interesting when you read it. It's basically like the NFL looking at Sorsby and be like, yeah, you really just didn't take any accountability for this at all. And you kind of tried to hide behind all these things. And it doesn't really look like you've learned anything from this at all. So we're not going to hold the supplemental draft. And we wish you the best of luck in the 2027 NFL draft.
Yeah, it was almost like a scolding, basically, And yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, totally should have figured that this would happen. You just sort of, I mean, typically when there's a player, when there's a reason in terms of a player talented enough, they just do the supplemental draft. But yeah, the NFL also doesn't like gambling. He may not have gambled on NFL games, but like this is a serious thing. The NFL, as we have seen, is not messing around, and you can talk about the conflict of it all because they also embrace all the gambling money they're getting. But whatever, I mean, they're not messing with the integrity of the product, and so I think that this is one thing about this. I hope that people are you noticing college athletes? Are you noticing high school athletes who want to be college athletes, who want to be pro athletes? Because look at what has happened to Brendan Sorsby and how much money and opportunity he's lost because of all this. And it's right. It's really what should happen. Not just the accountability for him, but also like there needs to be a deterrent to this kind of thing. And this, I think, should be pretty effective. I'm also interested. I'm assuming from reading that letter that he will be in the 2027 draft, but it's not a lock, right? I mean, it's not guaranteed.
I mean,
I think the next few months are really important for him to do all the right things.
Oh, it's interesting the way the letter kind of phrases it too from the NFL. It says, we encourage. This is the last line of the letter. We encourage you to focus on preparing for possible entry into the NFL through the 2027 NFL annual draft.
What could keep him out? Would he be ineligible from the NFL or?
Yeah, I think the NFL could keep him out, right?
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, I
suppose that's a thing.
If they can sit, now granted, now that's someone who's in the league already, but if they can sit someone out for a year for gambling on some other sport, than someone who gambles on football. I mean,
I guess the possible could be in there just from the standpoint of like, we'll see if anybody drafts you or not, but
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm guessing that, first of all, again, this is a real thing. This is a real addiction. There are a lot of people and families who have been destroyed who could attest to that. And, he started doing the treatment when he got caught. Well, okay. Well, this is you got to actually go through treatment. Here's this time now to do that and work out all that stuff and get your stuff in order. And not just, rush to this, like, oh crap, this didn't work, so let me try this. I would think that as long as there's no hiccups along the way, that he'll be in the draft. But I also think that the NFL takes this very, very seriously and should. And so this is again, I thought, well, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Everybody has kind of assumed, that they would just throw it out there and teams could make the decision. But I mean, I think this is a good decision by the NFL. And hopefully for him, he does do all the right things and there's no question. And then he just goes in and then it'll be really interesting to see by then. And he's still going to be the same level of talent. I think if he shows some contrition and does all the stuff he's supposed to do, then he's still a guy who probably somewhere in like the third-ish round or something like that is probably going to get picked up by somebody.
Well, I mean, I say definitely. There's no way for me to know. He could have gone out there at Texas Tech this year and just played poorly, and maybe he wouldn't have been a big-time draft pick anyway. But the bottom line, I mean, it appears that he's cost himself millions here with how he's handled this and the way that it's gone down. I mean, the flip side of that is he goes to Texas Tech and he looks great, and he's a top 10 draft pick at that point. And I mean, how much money have you cost yourself then if that's the way it's played out? And again, we brought up the league's letter. I mean, it said, quote, the sole reasons that he sought entry in the petition of this draft because he's been declared ineligible. I mean, it's basically the NFL looking at him saying, yeah, I mean, you're doing all this thing because you're basically sorry you got caught, and we don't believe that you have been accountable enough in this thing. So that part of it I thought was really strong language from the NFL. I think it's right. I think it's exactly what's going on here. And I think as an NFL team, like, it's one thing to enter into a supplemental draft to basically do the silent auction bid of, fifth rounder for Brendan Sorsby. Now that you're going to have to actually not see him play football for an entire year, go through this whole thing. Who knows how the landscape changes in the college football season and how that, they could have quarterbacks playing great this year and that bumps him down. Like, I have no idea what to make of this. Let's say he is in the draft in 2027. I don't know where he's going to go. Like, you'd be hard pressed to convince me he's going anywhere before fourth round with this right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Texter says, has anybody ever watched Sorsby play? He was horrible at Cincinnati, especially in November. Not sure why all these NFL analysts act like this dude was some spectacular prospect. He's mid at best. I disagree with you. Now, I agree with you on the one really bad performance in particular, which, again, another good reason he's not playing right now. Like, it's just he's radioactive, and all this stuff is going to follow everything he does. But, yes, I've watched him play, and you are wrong. He is not a mid-prospect. He is an extremely talented prospect. He is an A athlete as a quarterback with an A arm. So, like you said, what if the draft next year, like, a bunch of these guys actually live up to what people hope they're going to be, and then you get to, like, fewer teams that are quarterback needy at some point, right? But someone will take a flyer, and I do think that his talent is going to, as long as he is on the straight and narrow with all this others with the gambling stuff, I do think his talent at some point is going to give him an opportunity to start in the NFL. I would predict that right now. But also, like, there's a lot of this. I mean, this is tough. You're not gonna play football for the next year. What does that do to somebody? To not be playing the game. You can work out and you can stay in shape. You can throw all the time, but that's still, that's still, you would think, would be diminishing in some way. So, I mean, it's a big challenge for him. But yeah, again, I think the NFL, I got to tip the cap to the NFL. And because, again, I think the big picture of this is there should be consequences. There should be reasons that people think twice about doing something this stupid. And so now you have more of them.
We will take your thoughts on Brendan Sorsby, 615-737-1025, plus development on the NCAA front that I think is going to be very interesting moving forward. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025, The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com will be with us later in the program. We'll get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. Let's head to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Mark in Nashville to the program. Mark, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, good morning, Robby. Good morning, Joe.
What's up, Mark?
How y'all doing, man?
Good, man.
Hey,
Good.
hey, couple of things, Robby and Joe. Joe, I wanted to ask you this because I've always wanted to ask you this question. I had mentioned this guy's name once before, Art Schleicher. Do you think that what Sorsby did and what he's been, the things that's been going on in his life with this gambling and stuff, do you think that was worse than what Art Schleicher done or not?
Well, so first of all, I have to be totally caught up. It's such a different time. It's so hard to compare the things, right? I mean, back then, obviously, Schleicher had a huge problem, right? And back then, of course, if you're gambling, you're getting involved with bookies. I mean, you're getting involved.
It's not an app on the phone back.
I mean,
in the day.
Yeah, he bet on horses and stuff, right? Stuff like that. I mean, but the thing is, and I don't think there was anything with Schleicher in terms of his own teams, right? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And so, and the thing with Sorsby is, again, not only betting. Everybody talks about betting on his own team. It's a subtle thing, but betting for his team to hit the under in a half is betting against his team. And I mean, so I would. It's a good question. I mean, you're talking about, like what I'm reading Schleicher now. He lost $500K on hoops. He was betting horses, all that stuff, and he owed bookies like thousands of dollars. He had a huge, huge problem. But I feel like Sorsby, because of the own team thing, is worse.
Yeah, well, I looked at a documentary about Schleicher. Was he the first freshman to start at Ohio State? I thought that guy, the way he looked, I thought he might have been he would have been a beast in the NFL. He had the prototypical style.
He could have been great
quarterback.
Yeah, could have been great.
Could have been great.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm thinking with Sorsby, Robby, and Joe, if he'd have just stayed quiet, showed contrition, and whatnot, kept his lawyer quiet and quit trying to pursue this and that, just stayed quiet, apologized, just stayed to himself. Silence is golden, and sometimes that works for you. I think his supplemental may have worked out a little better for him. But, Joe, it sounds like they don't want him in the NFL, period, the way they're talking. Or they're going to make it hard for him. It's going to be a very long time before we see this guy in the NFL. Because even if he does get drafted, Goodell will stick it to him and still punish him probably for whatever reason that he can, because this is a serious thing that's going on with him. But, Robby, before I go, y'all getting ready. I think you're getting ready to talk about the NCAA, cutting out the red shirt, and you got to be a certain age, 24, to stay eligible, and they're gonna cut down the transferring. Yeah, I think that's good for college football. That'll start getting things a little bit under control. Maybe you could fix it where there's a certain salary cap to where they can spend the money and whatnot. 'Cause it just can't stay like the Wild Wild West and just spending all this money like that.
Yep.
So hopefully that'll make it better for college football. But hey, Joe, I heard you talking about the Pistons. That was a good draft, but they still need to go get a big to help Jalen Duren, and they're going to need another shooter or two, I think. And I think they'll be okay. Golden State had a pretty decent draft, but it's still more to come. But hey, Robby, Ian, Joe, y'all have a big day, man.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, see y'all, man.
Well, I would say this. So he brought it up. The NCAA Division I cabinet it approved a 5-year age-based eligibility model. So basically, you're given 5 years of eligibility over 5 seasons once your clock starts, and the enrollment in college is kind of the beginning of that clock, full-time enrollment, or the beginning of the academic year following the 19th birthday. So on the surface, it sounds good. The question is, it's basically, some of the same questions we ask about everything now. It's like, all right, well, are you going to actually be able to enforce this? What does this look like? Because to me, if it was this simple, this would have been done a long time ago. There's always holes when these sort of rulings come out here. So, Joe, I ask you, I mean, we've talked about everything goes into this with lawsuits and all these things, and it feels like it's all we talk about in college sports anymore is lawsuits and committees and all these other things. What do you make of the latest edition of this from the NCAA Division I cabinet with the new 5-year age-based eligibility model?
Before I get to that, I want to do one more thing on Sorsby because I'm going to forget if I don't.
Okay.
Because Mark brought it up, and I do wonder this. What if Sorsby had not done this, had not gotten the judge, had not contested this, and had just gone to the supplemental draft without doing any of that stuff?
The way I read that NFL letter, he probably would have got a supplemental draft.
He might have, even though the gambling thing is still the gambling thing, right? It's an interesting question. But we'll never know, but it's an interesting question. Yes. And another thing Mark said that's I don't think is accurate on this. It's not cutting down the transfer. I mean, you can transfer.
No, you still transfer.
The transfer, but the big thing is like this should end the 26-year-old Euro pro coming over and playing. That's
Correct.
a big thing. I think most of this, I think most of this will hold up, be fine. The thing about it that's interesting that I think is open to lawsuits is, so this means no more. So 5 for 5. Once we get into the full, it's like in the interim here, you've got like, you can pick whichever model's best. Starting in 27, everybody's on this plan. 5 for 5. So you have 5 years of eligibility. So you can play 5 years. There's no reason to redshirt. We'll never hear any more about, well, this freshman will play 4 games, you go sit down, all that stuff, right? But the thing about it that's interesting is it also means like the medical red shirt is over.
Yep.
So what do we see sometimes? We see it especially now in the NIL era is I'm going to shut it down because I got 1 year eligibility left and I'm going to get in the portal and get one more payday, right? Like that's been a big, I'll look at Vanderbilt basketball this year. That was a speculation. I don't know if that's the case, but that was a speculation. It's happened at Lipscomb basketball not long ago too. Lots of places. So now the year is the year. So, what you'll see sometimes too is, but people who shut it down, it's actually like, well, I might be able to get back at the end of the year and I'll play because it doesn't matter. I'm losing the year. That thing, I feel like lawyers are gonna circle on that one. Like my client was severely injured and for a year and a half, whatever, an Achilles injury. And how could the eligibility just be gone for that? That I wonder what the lawyers know. By the way, Darren Heitner, who's one of the biggest college sports lawyers, he's got a big list of clients who are suing who last year were seniors who aren't getting the year now. Like it's somewhere you have to cut it off. They decided to cut it off with last year's people who got done with their 4 years. They don't get the 5th year this year, which I think makes sense. It would have been a total mess if you let them. Like think about that. All these schools, all these teams that have paid all this money to load up their rosters, knowing that these people wouldn't come back. And now it's like, oh no, actually you do have a year of eligibility. So that's a lawsuit. But I do think a lot of this is going to be good. It's a good move, especially just the clock starting when it does. And then that's it. So basically we're not going to be talking about 30-year-old college athletes anymore. And, anything could be sued, but I think that I think that will be fine. I think it's the medical stuff that that kills your eligibility. That's where I think lawyers and judges may be involved.
It's very interesting. Very interesting to see the way that is going to play out. On the surface, I like it. Like I like the 5 and 5. The medical redshirt part of this could be interesting. That will affect some people, but on the whole, like I'm cool with 5 and 5. I mean, kind of the thing I've always said is you've got 5 to play 4. I'll take this as a compromise. 5 and 5. That's fine with me. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
now,
totally.
If you run across the rare person that I guess is really, really good in college, but maybe you're not so convinced that they're going to be a great NFL player, like if somebody just going to torch an all-time rushing record or something like that.
Yeah.
You get into some of that.
I'll tell you who could have. And I'll tell you right now, is just like, I just missed it. I mean, Zakai Ziegler is perfect for this. Zakai Ziegler is a 5-year star for Tennessee, right? And probably has every assist record. Yeah. So, there will be some of that. But considering the other chaotic stuff going on.
Yeah,
it's like okay,
that's a small price to pay.
Aria Gerson wrote a piece in the Tennessean about, Vanderbilt specific, some interesting stuff that she had thought about, which I wouldn't have thought about this. Like, for example, baseball juniors, right? A lot of times, players leave as juniors, even if there's not huge interest because they're going to lose leverage in their last season. Well, now, with the 5 years of eligibility, that goes down another year. So you're going to have some guys, who may stay longer than they would have. Again, like her point, we talked about, freshmen. I mean, I think you're going to see more freshmen just like, hey, if you can help at all, because you're losing the year anyway. You get 5 and you're losing this year. So play. Yep. There's no need to redshirt someone or do the 4-game thing, stuff like that. And again, like the injury stuff too. Essentially, once you get to like 24, you're not a college athlete anymore. And I think that, that's probably the thing that most people are like, yes, please. And I think that will be solid. But anybody can sue about anything.
Right? They sure can. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. More your reaction to the NCAA eligibility ruling coming next, plus another move made in the National Football League yesterday. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Join our YouTube channel at 102.5 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. And join our future award-winning YouTube chat. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com is with us on the program here today. PK, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I like that future award-winning optimism.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Did you like that Rush that he played? Like a good band, a band that's much better than Bush? I still can't believe that take of yours.
Got through there.
Horrific.
Got through it quickly.
We were reminded of that the other day. Made the mashup.
Rush is touring. I'm excited.
He's the most nasally singer. Can you agree with that? Like that he doesn't have a voice that would be appealing to everyone?
I mean, I think he sounds good. I mean, you're acting like he sounds like you on the mic. No, I mean Geddy Lee does have a high-pitched voice, but I think it's effective.
Nasally. Sounds like he needs to go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor.
I mean, Springsteen sounds like he's on the bathroom when he's singing. So
good. Let's get some Robby hatred for Springsteen. You know, he's always trolling me on the Beatles.
I didn't care for that. You usually have my back.
You've hurt me,
took
Robby.
PK off guard there. It's like, wait a minute. That's not how this is supposed to work.
You have injured me. So, PK, what'd you think about the Knicks draft pick last night?
The NBA draft used to be one of the greatest.
Oh,
things
big Knicks fan. You don't know what went on?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I'm focused on the World Cup.
Crazy.
Yeah, good
Okay.
play by you.
Yeah.
I saw they traded. I did see.
Did the Knicks have a draft last night?
No, I was hoping he'd be like, oh, yeah, not bad. It could be good.
I did see something about them trading. Maybe it was second round.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
See there, I know.
There you go.
Good job.
And I'm guessing they drafted a guy from Europe that nobody ever heard of.
I don't think
Actually,
what
most of
the
that draft
league
last night was college basketball players. Pretty
Pump up America.
amazing.
We're back.
Yeah.
Hey, we got I mean, I would say it's a big match tomorrow. It's really not when you look at it. But how are we feeling? You got to be feeling good right now about U.S. soccer.
Things are going quite well. The Australia game got a little overrated. I mean, we took care of business without our best player, which was good. And a clean sheet from this team, given our defensive liabilities and goaltending situation, is excellent. But it was not domination like the way the first game was. This game doesn't matter, and they're probably sitting the guys with yellow cards so they don't get a second yellow card, so they're not out for the round of 30. Pulisic definitely
32.
won't play round of 32. And so, but still, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see. We have depth, and we'll see some guys like Weah and Musa probably. And that'll be exciting. And the potential draw coming down the road, just like, if you look at this like a NCAA bracket, the bottom left is super advantageous. The matchups that we can draw compared to what other people will get really leave open the possibility for us to go and win 2 games and get into the quarters, which would be absolutely spectacular. Not that those teams can't rise to the occasion and give us trouble, but winnable games.
Well, we had this discussion. The last time the World Cup was here, MLS basically was spawned from it. So that's the big development there. Obviously, you're not going to see a league spawn from this one, but like if the U.S. goes on a pretty good run here, what do you think that does for soccer in the United States? Is it a temporary thing? Does it have a lasting impact? How do you kind of view that part of it?
Well, I think this one is more about, I mean, I certainly think it'd grow the game, probably help MLS and all of that, but I think this one is more about the guys on this team and their stock and us as an international soccer nation. So certainly I hope it would spawn more guys who aspire to be part of that and maybe lift us an overall notch that we could be more consistently competitive in this tournament and in other tournaments to not, periodically get out of the group or to get out of the group and lose. Now the tournament's reshaped with a round of 32 instead of a round of 16. And it's not necessarily for the better when you're seeing some 7-1s and stuff. But I think, it's probably good for the game globally. Some of these teams are showing well. And I think, the gap, I kind of compare it to maybe a little bit to the women's tournament. Initially there were some teams that just were not on equal footing. And I think that's closed. The gap is closed and closed and closed. And so I would expect that to happen in short order. In 4 years, it'll be much better. And in 8 years, it'll be much, much better. And so it's really exciting. And just to have 4 games a day in your own time zone.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have probably talked about it, but the refreshing view, particularly these Europeans speaking English on our social media feeds, experiencing America minus the politics, just driving through beautiful places in America and experiencing things like Buc-ee's, has been really
Very
cool.
fun. Yeah.
To watch and hear about. So it's been terrific so far. And I can't wait to see. I mean, obviously I'm not skipping ahead of this game, which I'll be reviewing with Joe on Friday. Joe finally threw me over the top to sub for you on Friday.
He's like a
Robby.
recruiter,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a football show. Football.
So we'll talk about that game on Friday and see what's ahead.
Well, I do want to ask you. So you mentioned, maybe the impact is on future teams because, again, you've got young people looking at this and saying, like, okay, this is what I want to do. What is the financial bounty here for someone like an Alex Freeman doing what he did now, McKinney, some of these guys, Adams, obviously Pulisic has been a star, but what do you think is the combination of, wherever they're playing professionally? I mean, all these guys almost are playing in Europe, plus endorsements here and things like that, compared to a star athlete in, the NFL, MLB, NBA, whatever.
It's a good question. I don't know the details. I think they would be in line for better contracts when they're up, or if somebody wants to buy them in Europe. So it would start with that. I think the endorsements really were front end here, to get in front of the World Cup. I don't know how great the endorsement opportunities are after the World Cup in America anyway, but maybe you go back to Europe and you've got some opportunities if you're playing at Juventus, to do something in Italy. And certainly your Q rating is way up. His Q rating, I mean, I saw an interview with him and his dad, is way up. And just the exposure of that story, I think there's far too much of imagine if all the great cornerbacks in the NFL played soccer. I think that storyline needs to die. But I think there are spots of that, and that, another Freeman kid could more reasonably look at it as an alternative and go that direction. You only need a couple of those. We don't need the whole American sports culture to think of soccer as an alternative. And we know most of the kids play. Landon Donovan's talked very much about that. This is the next thing that needs to come. Youth soccer's broken in America. Like Landon Donovan was talking
he had
about
a good
his
rant.
8-year-old, being torn away from his friends at 8 for the sake of competition. And also
that's not how they do it in Europe.
No,
they just have fun
Europe,
for a while?
Well, no, in Europe, you have fun for a while, I think. But if you're tabbed as very good, you're in an
academy, right?
You're taken by an academy. But one of my best friends from college, his son was very, very good high school player and played at a very good club. Now, I mean, this is a friend's sob story or whatever, but a kid that left his club because he couldn't get enough playing time, went somewhere else and did fine and everything, and got recruited by Washington, which is a big time program, and he sent us in our group chat Washington saying, look at our recruit, the splashy thing. And he said, recruiting is so weird and so broken. This kid had to leave Aiden's team because he couldn't get enough playing time.
Right.
Meanwhile, Aiden, could never really make it work. And now he's going to try to walk on at Berkeley. He was choosing between Berkeley and Michigan and Cornell, where he would have had to walk on with any of them, but he never could quite make it work. And the whole club system thing trumps, this is unlike any American sport, I think, trumps high school ball.
Yeah.
But it's still not good enough. Like if you were going to head to Europe, you have to go to Europe almost before you play for these MLS tied clubs. It's a really screwed up thing. That's what we need to fix in America.
All right, real quickly, how do we feel about Alexi Lalas, and is he going to get punched in the face by Zlatan the next time they're on TV together?
I find him a little bit, this is shocking, I find him a little bit more bearable than other people, but I wish I wish he wasn't on that desk. I'd rather Donovan or Dempsey. Donovan with his hair. I mean, just come to terms with the fact that you're bald.
Just gotta let it go, man.
I mean, he's been upfront about it. He's done videos on it and everything. But like, as a bald guy, I tell you what you do when you're going bald is you come to terms with you being bald and you cut your hair short. And it's not like you've got cancer, for the love of man. Like, you know, at a certain point, you just, like if you go somewhere, if you go to a Predators game and you look down amongst the people, half of them are bald.
Yeah.
You're in that half. Tough break. I mean, you know.
I mean, as this show can attest, two very good looking people sitting at this desk right now. They're bald.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Zlatan, however you pronounce it, has dominated him and without raising his voice, which is very
You would like that
impressive.
D-bag. Good God.
Who?
No,
I don't. I don't.
He's all right.
I mean, I just don't find it as ingratiating. I'm not as concerned with the commentary as I am with the game.
Sure.
And for some reason, on the soccer panels, I tend to be drawn to the people who are good. So I watch that, and I tend to think, God, Rebecca Lowe is the best person in the world at this, instead of Alexi Lalas is the worst.
Yeah, but you can't avoid him. I mean, she's even over there. Like, okay, guys, come on, please, guys, come on. Everybody respects each other, right? And
Well,
Lawless is just over there.
I like that when he's defeated so thoroughly that it's like,
There's nothing to say.
It's kind of over. All right, you've been put in your place. It's done. Instead of allowing it to go and go and go. Okay, you've lost. Commercial.
He reminds me of Ross Perot's VP. Like, who am I? Why am I here? Just like randomly blurting things out.
Well, the
He's so not respected in the international soccer community that it's kind of an embarrassment for Fox.
The Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode coming up next. Robby and Rexrode 102.5 The Game.
Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And sometimes he's just, well, Joe.
Awkward moment. Let's do it.
This is the Rex Rant, now on Robby and Rexrode.
Oh, looks like Bishop Sankey fumbled again. At Bishop Sankey fumbled. The special teams coach has to go. This is ridiculous.
Like, you want people to not, murder each other.
And I think the accuracy questions that a lot of us had with him coming into the league,
I pooped myself a lot, probably.
starting to show themselves a little bit. Sharding.
Are we going to wipe it every time?
A lot of soiling going on today.
I did not go number 2 during this.
We're going to go out there. We're going to fart.
We got 2 bald folks in here. And then Rexrode's luscious head of hair.
You were bald at 8 years old?
It is time for the Rex Rant. Brought to you by Rapid Response Generators. Power when it matters most. Served by the Wine Cellar in Hendersonville. Joe, the floor is yours.
God,
Kuharsky with us.
I totally forgot about his sharding incident.
Well, I looked up a few minutes ago and saw Ian just laughing in there. I was like, oh, this will be good. It was.
Ready, set, shot.
We all misspeak at times.
But that was just an absolute beaut. Well,
Bishop Sankey is going to make you have those feelings.
yeah.
True.
I should do a separate rant just on that, as we've talked about. We talked about, I don't know how we got off the topic the other day, but back when you used to tag everybody, you used to tweet about it. It's truly incredible. You just
being a stand-up guy.
Yeah. All your whole play-by-play has to tag everyone.
No, not my play-by-play.
Oh,
I don't
yes,
do
it
much
was.
play-by-play.
You were seriously like,
Oh, in there, Tajay Sharp at Tajay Sharp just dropped a pass on third down.
No.
and you did all day. You just tagged them. And then these guys get to the locker like, why do I have this many mentions? Oh, it's all Kuharsky doing play-by-play of me. Thanks.
Incorrect.
No, you know it's true. And I shamed you out of it. And I mean, I think Nashville should thank me. But real quick, I need to ask for some help because I got this thing yesterday and then I totally chickened out last night. And I can't chicken out today because insurance dictates that you have to use this if insurance is going to pay for it. This CPAP machine is just a freaking, what are we doing here? I mean,
I just had my home test, and I turned it in yesterday morning.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm waiting on
you
the
might
verdict.
be in my boat here soon, but I got fitted for it yesterday, and it's like you have to clean. This has to be cleaned every day, and then this is every other day. This is once a week. This is once every 2 weeks, and then here's where you put the water in. Here's the plug, and now put this massive mask on and tighten it. Make sure no air is coming out, and have a nice night's sleep. What?
And it sounds like a lawnmower.
Not. Yeah, it didn't really.
Katie will be
it's
out
an
of there
annoying
in
sound.
3 more nights.
Yeah, it's done.
She's
Already out of there.
Well, 4:30 a.m. is early.
That's tough.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you're a CPAP veteran out there, please tell me what I can do to not have a miserable rest of my life.
So
because I feel like
tell
that's,
you.
so we haven't tried
I
it
can tell
yet.
you one thing.
I have not done a night's sleep with it.
Okay.
No. Last night I was supposed to, and I'm like, you know what? Give me one more night of just snoring and having sleep apnea. Can I please?
Well, yeah, I'm praying I don't end up on one of these things. My brother has been on it forever and ever. My doctor, when I talked to him about getting the sleep test and everything, said, if you have it and you need something, one of these weight loss pills at a very low dose has been shown to help with sleep apnea.
Ozempic.
Okay. Well, shoot me up, baby. Let's go. Okay. Drop this gut and sleep well and
So
don't have to wear a mask. Fine.
I've held that
you put
in
a
the back.
shoot it in my butt.
of
I don't
my
care.
head. So
There's another clip.
I've searched that up a couple times, and it
He's
seems
already
like I'd certainly want a second opinion on it, but I would sure as hell prefer the sound of that to carrying this thing around. Also, everybody makes it like you have to travel with it. Like, can I not do CPAP and then just take like a night off on a road trip? Or is that when I die?
Don't know.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and that might you might have a few drinks. I mean, who knows, man? No, I mean, because there's a certain.
Paul's hasn't shown up and it's kickoff.
He's here.
Aunt Derek Morgan just missed a tackle. Check it down.
That's not what I was doing. If I wrote something of substance about somebody, I thought, hey, they deserve to see it. I'm being stand up here.
Yeah, dude. Fine. You know what? I will go back and find you. You better start deleting tweets.
At Vince Young, just do his shoulder pads in the stands.
Yeah,
that would be fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's newsworthy. Yeah.
Oh, a 9-yard catch. Well, at Kendall Wright.
So when will you start the CPAP, and how are you going to schedule additional time for the 6 different stages of cleaning?
Yeah.
I don't. It's. Well, I'm going to start tonight. They did say that you should just.
If you don't start immediately, you'll die.
With a day or two, then you'll die. No, they did say that you should wear the mask and just like wear it before you go to bed and get used to it. So I'm going to freak out the family.
Look like a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Wow, it's Darth Vader.
And maybe that'll make it less, because yesterday I'm sitting there like, and it's like you feel the pressure of when you try to exhale.
So you're psyching yourself out a little bit, though. I think you're psyching yourself out.
There's any way not to.
Yeah. I am, but I mean it's a big mask.
I mean,
So
we
I
got
had
people
face.
swearing by this thing on the YouTube chat.
Okay.
People told me that deal with the sleep apnea that the CPAP is a game changer.
My father-in-law, he uses one. It helps him big time.
Yeah.
This
I don't
person
doubt
says-
it helps, but I mean, can't they find an easier way to help? What about a mouthpiece? Go to your dentist.
Yeah. This texter says maybe lose weight. Pretty simple, really. Well, thank you, jackass. It'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, but it hurts. So did you do an at-home sleep test?
Yeah.
All right. So I wired myself up for that and everything the other night. And
that was fun too.
And that's not that big a deal, but my son had his lady friend over, and they were watching a movie upstairs or whatever. And I told him, let me know when you guys are coming down. And he said, why? And I said, well, I'm wired up for this sleep test and I'd rather not be seen. And he said, okay. And so then he sends me a text, and I didn't immediately respond. So he's, of course, does his thing, father on the text.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And so I disappear into my office, and he comes down, and she's saying goodnight to my wife and everything. And she's like, where's dad? And he said, oh, he's wired up for a sleep test and he didn't want to be seen. So I avoid only
Sold
half
out.
the embarrassment.
I got to quickly read Dennis here. Said, I lasted 4 months with my CPAP, felt exhausted every morning. My doctor was shocked when I told him I didn't like it. Said, why? I said, because there's a medieval torture device strapped to my face, suffocating me. Yeah, this is what I'm worried about, Dennis. You have not made me feel better.
We need you to journal this. Video journal.
I agree.
Video journal. Be like,
I was sleeping a little bit better, but I got up to pee, and I got to do the 6th level cleaning. Good night.
Dude, you
Darth
guys-
Vader signing off.
Stop. But you know what I should do with Video Journal?
that'd be great.
I should wear this thing to the gas station, and I bet you the PT Cruisers they'll be afraid of me.
They're not
They
gonna
won't
steal
be
that
pulling
sucker.
up next to me.
No,
Too bulky.
they would think you're slowed down.
Yeah. Too bulky.
And if you're wearing it, then they wouldn't steal the CPAP case.
No, they wouldn't.
But that might
Yeah,
be
please
something
steal
they
it.
could actually get money for.
Yeah, please steal this.
That might have value, the secondary CPAP market.
Guy, I can just see it now. Your Rexrode doing his thing, pumping his gas, staring directly at the gas pump. The kid pulls up to steal from the car. He sees the CPAP in there and says, nah, I just can't do it.
Too much cleaning.
I can't do it with this guy. He's suffering enough. Let me just close this door and move on with my day.
Mr. PT Cruiser.
I'm glad you're ahead of me on this. You could give me all the data.
Yeah, we can work. We can be CPAP buddies.
Kuharsky with
I'll
us
take the shot. I'll take the shot.
for the rest of the program. We'll take your thoughts on the Titans, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com is with us for the remainder of the program, presented by Rapid Response Generators, power when it matters most. You can check out all of PK's great work at paulkuharsky.com. And PK will be on Friday as well.
Well, you're going where and doing what?
I will be in Cleveland watching some baseball this
Who are
weekend.
they playing?
Mariners.
Interesting.
Not a great matchup.
Interesting.
Cleveland, though. Cleveland's fun.
God's country.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to that coming
Mistake by the lake.
Yeah.
That's long gone.
Long gone.
It's your birthplace, isn't it, PK?
It is my birthplace.
That's right. You're actually a Clevelander. People didn't realize.
Is there a monument that I can visit?
There is not a monument.
Speaking of that, what do you think about the Pecorine statue?
I mean, if you want to make statues for the first good player you have and not wait to see the status of your franchise over a long period of time, which is what good teams do, go ahead.
I think we're on similar pages.
Sorry,
there.
we're bothering PK while he's texting someone.
I'm not texting anyone.
So the Jeffrey Simmons extension, we talked about that the other day. You know, he had his press conference last week, and he was very complimentary of the Tennessee Titans. And I think we talked about it the next day, and I looked at Joe and I said, you know, he's awfully calm about this when it comes to the contract stuff. He's not making a big fuss about it at all. I wonder if they're pretty close on a deal. Well, turns out they were pretty close on a deal, and he ends up with the extension. What do you think of the deal for Jeffrey Simmons and the Titans?
Yeah, seems like great money for him, great deal for them. Secure him through 2030. Only other two players that they have conceivably contractual control of till then are Carnell Tate and Keldrick Falk with 50-year options. You know, you think that would probably be about the end of him. You never know, but he's been everything they asked. Look, he had a late maturation, I would say, in some leadership areas and some maturity areas, but he is there now. And then, a day or two before that, when he spoke to us, it really gave you cause to think about what he'd been asked to do through most of his career, talking about kind of holding the fort, bracing himself for the double team right at the line of scrimmage, and the freedom he has to go now. Now, that doesn't mean like, all of a sudden he's going to be 3 steps in the backfield right away, because he's still going to face the double team, but he's free to get going. He doesn't have to read anything or anything like that. And I'd like to extend on this to ask, for Vrabel's defense, certainly it was a sin to go beyond the quarterback. And I wonder now if the defensive line has permission to be a step beyond the quarterback to attack him from behind if a play warrants it, if a block takes you there, those sorts of things. And if we might see a little bit more often a quarterback get sacked from behind, or a swipe at the ball from behind, where we see a lot of strip sacks or strips around the league that we didn't see from the Titans generally, because and not unfairly, Vrabel's defense wanted everybody in front of the quarterback. And also the Titans,
except that one time they let Patrick Mahomes out.
Yeah, a lot of times with more mobile quarterbacks, the Titans were very conscious of hemming the quarterback in. And I think that sometimes you have to have a degree of that, but sometimes maybe
depends on the quarterback.
This defense
too.
would feel like
you got a statue quarterback.
Then, yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
so I thought it was very interesting that he talked about this new freedom that made me think of him being more restricted than I ever thought of before.
So I want to go back to something you just said right there, which we've talked about and we would all agree. But why is he just growing up? Like what has caused this this renaissance or whatever, or this massive maturity? It wasn't long ago. It was like, man, this guy, like, he doesn't get it.
Social media was a problem of worrying about stuff. And
I think that
Andrew in a trash
it
can.
was spelled out to him that those were the next level things he needed to do to get what he just got.
By who, his agent?
Well, I do think that he changed agents from a small guy to a big
To
guy.
a legit agency.
And that they helped make it clear. I think Titans management made it clear. I know I hate to invoke his name because I know what it'll bring. I know that when he had his incident with Andrew, that Chad Brinker, at the very least, I don't know if Chad Brinker's the one that spoke to him, but I know that Chad Brinker was central to the Titans talking to him about how he handled that and having him work to recover.
Sprinkler system and Jeff
from
Simmons
that.
damage control. That's a lot.
Well,
That's
I
a
don't
big
remember
jobs.
who was the GM at that time. If it was Rand,
It was Rand.
you know, to me, Rand's reaction would be to put his arm around him and say, "It's okay, buddy. You know, you're the man." All of that. Soft,
And also put his arm around Andrew.
Soft love.
Put his arm around you.
Yeah.
He wouldn't put his arm around him.
Fall
me.
asleep. Fall asleep while doing it.
Yeah. So I just think he matured out of that. I had a moment last year. I've talked about this, you know, and Jeff and I haven't gotten along great through much of his career. We had much better year last year, and I talked to him about it at the end, and we kind of smiled and laughed about it.
That's sweet.
But I went to him remember when the NFL first announced that it would not that it filed a grievance or whatever about the NFLPA report cards.
Yep.
And this was one of those things, like in the past, I would have been reluctant to have approached Jeff about it. And I think I would have got the sour face and the wave away. But I waited until his big session with reporters was done. And I conveyed he's the NFLPA rep now for the Titans, the main rep. And I conveyed that story to him, which he had not heard about yet. And he gave me a great, 50-second answer on that. Like, we're not going to stop doing that. We'll fight them on that. It's produced a lot of good changes. This is an important thing for the union. It's not at all unreasonable, whatever. And I think it was the best snippet I saw from anywhere in the league with a union guy talking about it. And it got some national play. And I went back to him later in the week and I said, "Hey man, you were really good on that union thing. That was important."
Kiss his butt a little bit. Good.
Well, I said it was important that somebody big in the union say something about it. And I didn't see anybody else really step forward on it. I thought that was a good job by you. And that's the kind of thing that I think previously he would have scoffed at. "Oh, you're trying to trap me into saying something that'll get me in trouble, blah, blah, blah." And instead he was like, "I'm a leader on this issue and I'm going to say something important about it."
A few years ago, I would not have guessed he would ever be a union rep.
Yeah, me neither.
So good for him. People mature. We're waiting on you, but people get there. You can do it at any time.
Well, it is. I mean, look, it is amazing that just from this context of he gets the first deal and then you make it to another big deal where you get massive money. I mean, he's done well for himself on the money front on recently a team that hadn't been any good, but the money part of this has worked out very nicely for Jeffrey Simmons.
No doubt.
The position that he plays.
Also, I thought he was very vulnerable, if you will. He's one of the guys that talks post game every week.
Yep.
And this is a Groundhog Day situation for the last 2 years. And he admitted it. I don't know what to say to you guys. I mean, we're having the same conversation every week. He opened like that a lot.
Which better.
What else can you say?
Which is better than
trying to.
Well, it used to be a little bit of I'm not going to throw the secondary under the bus, but I'm kind of going to, know, as you've said before, I'm going to pass blame around a little bit.
Said, I'm sick of saying the same bleep, but here I am to give you another version of the same bleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
615.
Will that end this year?
737-1025.
Don't know.
Our phone number. Another question on the Jeffrey Simmons front. I want to get PK's thoughts on. We'll take more of your questions on the Titans at 615-737-1025. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping. Property managers, if you manage it, they maintain it. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Paul Kuharsky with us here on the program, taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. PK, another question on the Jeffrey Simmons front. You know, I think most Titans fans, and I'm really just kind of focusing in on their time here in Nashville with the Titans. You would identify three guys as, when you're talking about faces of the franchise, it would be McNair, it would be Eddie George, it would be Derrick Henry. And, you know, there are other people you could throw in that mix that I would personally probably put below those guys. But like, those are the three guys I really kind of think of when you look at the history of the Titans here. You know, we just talked about over the break, like, you know, the contract that Jeffrey Simmons just signed. He's been here for a long time. By the time it's done, he will have been here more than a decade at that point, which is a rare thing in the NFL, particularly at that position, those type of things. If he plays close to what we saw this last year over the next 2-3 years here, where do you think he gets to in terms of like all-time great Titans? Like, I think it'll be hard to surpass, you know, McNair or Derrick Henry or anything like that, because, I mean, he's not getting the ball. It's not an offensive guy. It's different that way. McNair won, you know, co-MVP of the league. Derrick Henry was a freak offensively. It's just not the same. He's a defensive tackle. But, I mean, you will be talking about somebody that at that point will have been around for a very long time and will have been a very high-level player for a very long time. So where do you kind of come down on that when it comes to Jeffrey Simmons? And if he plays close to what we've seen him look like for the next 2-3 years, where does that fit in your mind of like all-time Titans?
Well, let's make it defense. Who have been all pro defensive Titans? Javon Curse,
yep.
Albert Hainsworth twice, if I'm looking this up correctly, and Jeff. Byard, not first team. Bullock, not first team. Casey, not first team. Blaine Bishop, multiple Pro Bowls, but not first team. I mean, he's got every chance. You might be able to make the case for him now, but he's got every chance to wind up being the best defensive player
ever in
Titans franchise history.
Yeah, I do think that stuff is secondary to
impact.
Yeah, and also it's like, I mean, bringing up Blaine Bishop is like there's a guy who was a killer of a safety on great teams, right?
Yes.
So I do think
now
Simmons has been a part of some great teams too. It's just obviously it's been a while, but I think that's like, because Curse to me is still the guy who I just think of as he was such I mean, he just, he
turned a team into a Super Bowl team.
He turned an 8-8 team into, like, that was really the thing that changed, right? I mean, a lot of people got better and all that, but he was a freak.
But I think longevity plays into it when you're talking all-timer. And if he plays out his career here, there'll be something to be said for that. But I agree with you. Somebody asked me about his Hall of Fame case in my podcast last week. And I said, I think some winning is important to that.
I would agree.
For you to be a guy that doesn't touch the ball, that's on defense, even if you put up big sack numbers and everything now. And for him, you know, his generational comparison is Aaron Donald. He's not going to match Aaron Donald. All right. So how big is the gap between he and Aaron Donald? And one of the things I think he needs to do to get some level of contact with Aaron Donald is be part of a team that at least makes a charge, right? These 3-3s are killing him. 3-win seasons are killing him. Now, he's been on good teams, been on an AFC championship game team, been on a number 1 seed team, but needs some more success.
And, you know, he was a rookie who was helping on the AFC title game, but he was that was the best part of the team in 21. When they lose Derrick Henry and that pass rush got them there.
Yeah.
Well, and you can do it another way. Like you don't have to win. I mean, Joe Thomas is a good example of that. He was a 6-time first team All-Pro player at left tackle. And I mean, they didn't do a whole lot of winning in Cleveland, but you're also talking about a 6-time first team All-Pro player. I mean, that part of it is what it is. Simmons hasn't been that.
No.
I'd have to look
clear best player at that position.
Right.
And that.
I'd have to look more carefully at this. Albert Hainsworth's 2 years when he was in contract years.
Yep.
Is Jeffrey Simmons' year last year comparable to Albert Hainsworth's 2 contract years?
I think
I
so.
would say it's in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's in the ballpark.
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Hainsworth was more of a game wrecker.
He was a wrecker.
I mean, he was just ridiculous.
I mean, if you want to go by,
but in the same ballpark, absolutely.
in the same ballpark, I mean, Jeff had more sacks than Hainsworth did in either one of those years this past year. But I would agree. Like, if you watched Hainsworth play,
he was
an absolute freak.
terror.
Couldn't do
Nobody
it.
could do anything with him. Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's
Jeff didn't step on anyone's face.
There's also that. Yeah.
Well, and of course, if we're looking back now, then Hainsworth leaves. He takes the huge deal.
And
he
bust.
falls off completely. So what's the final? What's the final last few years for Jeff look like?
I'm just
saying, great teams.
I just think it's really interesting because, again, I don't know that there's anything he can do short of being a very key player on the Titans, like winning a championship. That would do it. But I don't know if there's anything he can really do to vault himself into like Derrick Henry, McNair territory, because it's just the nature of the positions are different.
Defensive players going to be hard to be there unless you're a DB intercepting passes,
or like you're Reggie White or something like. But yeah, like I think it's going to be hard to get there. But to your point, you look at, since they've been the Tennessee Titans, the players they've had on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he's already kind of inching up there.
I'd also say this, like, if he's petering out at the end, it would be great for him. Like, and this is a PR thing, kind of, like, to finish here and not have Bullock at the Giants, not have Casey at Denver. For whatever reason, if you're a career guy and you sacrifice that last ditch effort, there's something neat and clean about it historically for the fans and all of that. Now, that's a business decision. Doesn't really matter. Like, at this thing where you come back and sign and retire drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to think, even now, if Jeff Simmons went and played this contract somewhere else, nobody's ever going to think of Jeff Simmons as something other than a Titan. But
yeah, just like in the NFL, I mean, OJ finished where, the Niners and Namath, were they both the Niners? Like,
Montana and Kansas City.
Montana and Kansas City was a little different because, like, he was still good and he got them to the playoffs. Like, he had some years there.
He's a 40.
You still think of him as 49er. Yeah. Ed says Big Jeff not as good as Samari Roll.
Samari Roll, outstanding player. And one of my 3 favorite Titans all time.
But okay, so put him into context of this discussion we're having.
It's hard. I mean, Samari Roll took away half of the field and was an elite corner, but he wasn't an all-pro. So, I mean, the league didn't judge him.
He's all-pro once.
He's all-pro once?
One time. Yep.
All right, so comparable.
Maybe it's just because, like, really nothing of note was ever done by those teams, right? During his time.
Samari Roll went to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Am I thinking?
You're thinking of probably Finnegan.
I'm thinking of Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah. No, I mean, Roll was,
which is a big insult to Samari Roll.
Roll was a terrific player and is a terrific human being.
Yeah. But we hadn't brought him up. Like, you think of Kurtz, you think of, I mean, to me, like Bullock, again, from afar.
Sure.
Well, quick impact.
Bigger in terms of, like, the league.
Albert Hainsworth, for those couple of years.
Those 2 years, he was probably the best defender we've seen.
Yeah. Which is like Chris Johnson discussion too, right? It was a short, incredible but
peak.
then it quickly fell off. Contract fell off. So
I think Titans
longevity is definitely part of it.
I mean, Albert Hainsworth is the biggest symbol of playing for money. And I don't think Titans fans, especially removed from it all, care what he did in Washington.
Yeah.
And I think Titans fans have a better sense. Like, look, after things went south for him in Washington, he quit. But Shanahan messed that up.
Sure.
I mean, Shanahan didn't want him. Dan Snyder did want him. And then Shanahan played him out of position, didn't play to his strengths, which is just asinine. asinine stubbornness with $100 million guy.
Yeah.
Stupid. But in terms of what the Titans got out of him, I mean, those 2 years were as good as it got for anybody here. I mean, on the level of Curse in 99.
Oh, and it's all, I mean, it's just like the Derrick Henry part of this too is, I mean, yes, he is a Titans legend. He is also, I mean, he's had 2 years in Baltimore that, save for the 2,000-yard season he had here with the Titans, the 2 years he's had in Baltimore were better than any other year he's had with the Titans other than that 2,000-yard year. Like he's gone to Baltimore and he's rolled out a 1,900-yard year and a 1,600-yard year with 16 touchdowns in both of them.
I think if Derrick Henry didn't break that foot and miss that half a season, his record would be impeccable.
Yeah. It's also, that's the rate, well, with Roll, with McNair, but especially, I mean, D Mace had good year and now what if Derrick Henry, there you go. What if Derrick Henry, like you said the other day, like wins a Super Bowl, has a 1,500-yard season.
People will view him as a Raven.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, that's like both fan bases fighting over him type thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, if he win, let's say they win the Super Bowl this year, you will at that point be talking about, in a 3-year span with Derrick Henry, basically a 2,000-yard year, a 1,600-yard year, and then whatever he does this year with a Super Bowl attached to it. I mean,
5,000 yards in a Super Bowl in 3 years.
They're not winning the Super Bowl.
They're probably not.
Probably not. But I mean, it's
not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not the craziest idea.
I mean, I'd love to see where they come in on the odds. I mean, I bet they're top 5 if I had to guess. I mean, I'll look at it real quick. Yeah, they are 4th in the odds.
There you go.
This is another, just to put a bow on the Simmons thing, and a thing I think they've tried to ease for him. They tried to ease with Cody Barton, who didn't play to that degree, but they certainly ease it now. Like, he doesn't have to be the sole leader of this team. They brought in leadership at every position, even at his position. You could go to John Franklin Myers now for some leadership, right?
Yep.
So they've tried to spread it out, which is a relief of a burden on him.
Yep, I agree. 615-737-1025. More with PK coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. 102.5 The Game will have live coverage of the NHL Draft starting on Friday at 6 o'clock. Willie Donick, Max Hers of the Preds broadcasters will take you through the end of the first round as the Preds have the 10th overall pick currently. NHL Draft coverage on 102.5 The Game presented by Tennessee Brewworks and the UPS store Green Hills. Taking your thoughts for PK. Ed on the text line. Would waiting another year mean the contract would be even more? This is from Ed on the text line. What's your sense of what's going on
Why do we presume there's a hesitation?
I guess just because it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I mean, I think he's next in line, and I wouldn't be surprised if something happened between now and camp, but they've got control of him through 2026. So I wouldn't worry about it until it wasn't done before camp of 2026.
2027. This is 2026.
2027.
Hi.
So
Welcome
they've
to
got
the year.
control of him
Welcome
through
to Earth.
2027. I wouldn't worry about it until it wasn't done before camp of 2027.
Yeah.
Much
My
better
guess
with
is
the
it
case.
gets done sometime in camp.
I mean, they're
That's
probably
my
working
guess.
on it. Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, why not?
Because I mean,
They
it
got
is
plenty of money.
from a
Spend
decision standpoint. I mean, say what you will about Kuharsky being drafted 11th overall. I don't know that he'll ever, quote unquote, live up to that, but he's been very good lately, and it's a no-brainer to extend him at this point.
Yeah. Of course, at some point, they may end up with a whole bunch of good players who need contracts, and then it's like, gee, we did pay a guard a lot of money.
Sooner is
I'd
better
like to
than
get to that
later
point. Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the market,
Yeah.
extends. If you know a guy is good, and you want him long term, sign him now and front load it where you have money, which I'm sure is their intention.
I would assume that it is.
They got a lot of cap space.
They do.
Yes, they do.
They do have a lot of cap space. No doubt about that. We mentioned a lot about Cam Ward and the OTA is part of this, the inaccuracy. Seems like had a better couple of days in the mini camp. How important in your mind for him to respond the way that he did in the mini camp portion of what went on last week?
For the fan base, important. For him, the way they talk and carry themselves and everything you hear behind the scenes, not. I mean, it's great that he didn't bomb, but I don't think that they regarded him as having any struggles or anything like that. I think, look, the best thing to take away is in move the ball stuff, which they did almost exclusively in those final 2 days. He looked much better than in static stuff. I don't know if people understand what that means, but in a lot of practice, they put the ball down and they run a play, and they're working on 1st and 10 or 3rd down or whatever, but they run plays repeatedly from that spot, the same spot on the field. So in move the ball plays, periods, they're moving up and down the field like you would in a football game. So if you're sacked, you move it back. If you gain 5 yards on a run, you're moving 5 yards.
Yep.
And it's much more like real football. There's a very high percentage of regular practices where you do not move the ball. And on those two practices, they move the ball almost the whole time, if not the whole time. That's more realistic, and Cam does better in more realistic settings.
Are you saying he's a
which
gamer?
I think is a good.
Is he a gamer? Is that what you're
There's
saying,
no
Lou?
such thing. That doesn't make him a gamer. People think there are guys who, like in the NFL, can turn it on for games. Maybe a quarterback can be better in games than in practice, but like the idea that like Restrepo's a gamer, if you just let him go in a game, he'll be good. If you can't practice well in the NFL, you don't get to play.
No way to bring him up. But yeah, well, that's fine. Obviously, depending on like your tier as a player, but there's examples of some people say, oh, this guy practice always. And then sometimes like, yeah, it's a little bit off and then lights it up on Sunday. That's a thing.
That's a thing that guys can do better. But this idea that like, it's okay that he's not good during the week because he'll turn it on Sunday. Coaches are not thinking that way very often about people.
You also,
you better know your stuff and perform during the week, or I'm not going to have faith in you on the weekend unless you've got a resume on the weekend.
But also, in how many years of coverage of the NFL? 30 years of this franchise? Yeah.
30 years.
I mean, how many times on a Sunday did you hear after a crappy performance, we had a great week of practice, or after a great performance, boy, I was worried because the week of practice wasn't very good. I mean, you've heard it a million times.
Yeah, so much so that I don't think it means a lot.
Okay. So it's all just lies. It's just lies.
No, I think it's very healthy for Brian Callahan after a bad game to say, we really practiced well. So it's hard to figure why the guys didn't perform well on Sunday.
It's so weird because
everything I saw during the week,
because I had a great play for
indicated we did
fifth
well.
down planned, and it didn't work out. Oh, there aren't 5 downs, Brian. Oh, crap. So this Cam Ward performance late in the spring, are you a little bit more of a Cam do now?
I'm the same on Cam as I was before. He's got a lot to prove, but I think he's got a mentality and a game that can make him a 12 to 15 quarterback in the league, which they can win with.
What do you think of Rexrode and Cam do versus Ward are you doing? Is that what he's trying to make this a thing?
Or
if you like Cam, you're a Cam do. If you don't, you're a Ward are you doing?
But in the middle,
I hate them both.
You're in the middle. You're a catch as Cam can. See, I think most of this fan base is a catch as Cam can. There are some very outspoken Cam do's.
This is
some
what I've been
very
dealing with.
outspoken Ward are you doing?
The middle one needs some explanation. Is that like from the movie Catch Me If You Can? Or?
No, there's a phrase that's catch as catch can, which I don't even understand what the hell it means. But
never heard it.
I just changed it to catch as Cam can.
Well, I'm glad nobody knows what it means.
Don't kid a kidder.
You know, there's a bunch of things out there. Spring chicken, and we figured that out one day. But
we're workshopping.
This is what I've been dealing with.
The psych ward.
I think that you take the workshopping off the air.
I mean, Ward,
while you guys are digging around the area today, maybe,
out of your
maybe
board
do
for
your
Ward.
workshopping.
Exactly.
Do your workshopping during that.
Exactly.
And bring good stuff to the air.
you can't tell me that Ward are you doing isn't genius. Come on, man.
I can and I will.
You'll find it on
Sad.
paulkuharsky.com next.
Sad.
Some T-shirts out there.
It's kind of a week off over there. There'll be something posted today.
One more segment with PK coming up next. Take more of your Titans questions. 615-737-1025. Robby and Rexrode 1025 The Game. Final segment of the day, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Paul Kuharsky with us from paulkuharsky.com. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. It is the quiet time of the year in the NFL. Got tight end university in our town. Apparently Taylor Swift was out there on stage last night. It's good stuff.
And PK, you were there? No?
Where's
your coverage?
I find out about, I stopped having, being compelled to cover it when the Titans tight ends decided it wasn't important.
Yeah, they didn't go.
Chig was in Africa?
Belgium?
Belgium.
How dare you, Chig?
But I should have gone this year. I didn't know when it was happening. Then a friend of mine from San Francisco came out to cover it. She gave me late notice and sent me the information, and I got no response. And I had to return my sleep test yesterday by a certain hour. And so
wouldn't have worked out anyway.
I just found myself not that fired up to go. I did see Jill Jelnick talked to Delaney Walker. It would have been all right. I don't know if Bellinger was there. I don't know if
I think Helm was there.
Helm was there.
I think he was.
Good for Gunner.
Would have liked to have talked to them, but
go get it, Gunner.
No immense loss.
What if Taylor would have played like My Hometown or something?
I mean, I like everyone would have loved to have seen Taylor. That part is not open to the media.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm certain.
What you got any thoughts on Sorsby? This surprise you?
I think that it's a tip of the iceberg situation. I agreed with virtually everything you said. I like that the league, given a chance to stand up against big bad gambling when there's no consequence to the league, does so. But this stuff is going on. It's going to happen in a bigger circumstance that touches them more, and they better be ready for it because they've invited it.
Rand Carthon has commented on Jeffrey Simmons' contract extension.
Okay. Good. Let's get some good analysis.
I saw this.
This is on Sirius XM. He says, I think it was great for Jeff just to get his deal done, especially with, I'm not going to call it luck, but what he's had to endure with the organization.
What he's had to endure with the organization was you!
Good God.
You know, he hadn't seen a ton of winning. Hadn't had big seasons or whatnot.
Our equipment.
I know Jeff wants more than anything. Jeff wants to win and be a part of a winner. But every week he shows up, every week they're disruptive and terrorizing games. I'm not going to call it luck, but you know what he's had to endure with the organization.
He's had to endure. This guy's so lacking in self-awareness.
So wait a minute. You're blaming everything on Rand?
Not
You
everything.
now blame everything on Rand?
Not everything.
Okay. How much? What percentage? How much of the pie does he get?
I'd have to go look at Jeff's years and everything, but the 2, 3, and 3 seasons, Rand Carthon has pretty good fingerprints on. This guy is clueless.
I thought his hand was on his pillow as he was like this on the plane.
Clueless.
Maybe he didn't know.
I mean, does that not strike you?
Sleep study.
With what he's had to endure.
Well, I think it's Rand. I kind of like it because to me, it's Rand taking a little shot at his former employer. I kind of like it. A little pettiness.
Rand taking a shot at his former employee. I mean, they did everything to prop this guy up.
I mean, the owner of the organization he worked at has seemed to make some mistakes and mismanage some
and
things.
if you rank the mistakes in the last 5 years, firing Vrabel probably number 1, hiring Carthon, a hot contender for that spot, right on its heels at number 2.
So let's get your Mount Rushmore of who's to blame for the Titans' failures.
Amy and the Adams Strunk family. 1.
So you got Amy, you got Rand. Who are the other 2 faces up there?
On the mistake thing?
On the Mount Rushmore of
the second half of Robinson. So
you get is Robinson like Two-Face in the Batman thing? He's
Yeah,
like the bad
he
Robinson's up
He
there?
is. He's Two-Face.
It's just the profile of him, the bad Robinson.
Yeah. He would be like in the shade of Mount Rushmore, kind of turned sideways, and you can only see half of his face. And then
who else?
Who's 4th?
You would never put Brinker up there, of course.
Brinker's probably up there. I'm just trying to think if he's 4th or not.
Does Callahan make it?
Oh, yeah. He did coach there, huh?
He was, not good.
Callahan's probably there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're continuing to kiss Vrabel's butt. Cool.
I mean,
Vrabel's
Mr.
good
Vrabel.
outweighs the bad, and that team he had on the field was pretty crappy, and a share of it was not his doing.
Is Rand the second most culpable after Amy? I mean, it was a short.
I think
stint, man.
Robinson's second half is the second most.
Is worse
culpable.
than Carthon's entire
just
tenure.
run through the draft picks.
Yeah.
Roster's
That's the crazy
just
thing
now.
about, that's the crazy thing about his legacy is like it really is so good,
I will say,
then so bad.
the Rand,
Really, the two faces.
It really is, yeah.
the Rand Callahan special, like
Burnside,
combo
get on
is,
a graphic of that.
That's a heck of
Ranahan.
That's a heck of a combo.
Ranahan or Kelleran,
Yeah.
whichever
Bam,
you
bam.
prefer.
That's just
Bam,
getting
bam.
absolutely destroyed.
If our
twice in a row.
graphic artist could make a two-face coin of Robinson,
That'd be pretty good.
that would be something.
Dennis, I know you've got the
He's working
two-faced
on it.
John
Yes, come on.
Robinson illustration coming. Wonder how he's doing in Miami, by the way.
I'm sure great.
Someone said Rand is the Maroon
Nice.
5 of GMs. It's like, wait a minute, how'd this happen?
That's very good.
Well, it's good
His
to know that
circumstances were very tough.
it's good to know that
Very
Rand,
happy for him.
Rand is familiar with what Simmons has had to endure in this organization.
Hey, and Rand's
I
biggest
like it.
accomplishment-
I like the shade, man. I like it. Good. Rand, if you're gonna keep doing the media
He's throwing
thing, take
shade
some
at
shots,
himself.
baby.
He's throwing shade at himself. He's so foolish.
Well,
He I mean, the best thing he probably did was palling up to Simmons's uncle and getting in and getting that extension done. But he also kind of threw himself a parade for that. And that's your job, is to extend your best player.
I got a text from like 27 other GMs. They said that was amazing. Dennis has a great call here, by the way. So we all love Cam Do. We love what are you doing. What about the middle people being Cambivalence? I might go away from catches Cam can.
You know how we started? You know how we started this program with Kuharsky, talking about how you did a nice job of recruiting him for Friday. You may be unrecruiting him right now.
Yeah.
We'll talk soccer.
That Coke Zero big gulp you're getting me is now turning into like a vat.
You need a keg of Coke Zero.
I'll get like the big McDonald's bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the coolant.
Ryan in Florida has kept asking this question. I need to Von Miller or Joey Bosa? Any interest? Any
Coming?
possibility?
I don't think so.
I mean, the thing is, like, they may not be good on the edge, but they kind of have to find
They have to
out.
play
don't they? They have
players
to
that
play
they have.
guys.
Also,
and-
Von Miller is not coming here.
I mean, if you brought those guys in,
these are ring chasers. Von Miller's a ring chaser.
Yeah.
if you brought one of those guys in, you're sacrificing snaps for Falk and Femi.
Right.
A first round pick and a second round pick. What sense does that make?
Also, Von Miller's 37 years old. There's also that.
I mean, he just kept asking the question. I felt bad, so I finally asked it for him.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Thank
feel
you
bad.
for your repeated text, Ryan.
I will say,
it
though-
worked out for you.
I guess I was unaware of this. Von Miller had 9 sacks last year as a 36-year-old. Pretty good.
He's been a pretty good
But,
player
I mean,
in this league.
look, Von Miller, since he's left Denver, the Rams for the Super Bowl, Buffalo trying to get a Super Bowl, Washington the year after they made it to the NFC Championship. Those are the teams that he signed with. Why in the world would he come here?
Who? Simmons has a shot at double-digit sacks. After that, who? Correct answer. Nobody.
You hope Keldrick Falk is really good his rookie year.
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson.
maybe.
Jermaine Johnson would be
Is he
your
gonna play enough?
your next likely candidate.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Would you bet on it?
No.
No.
What
But
about
I mean,
John Franklin Myers? Could he hit that?
if you got two
If you have
interior
two
guys doing
interior
that,
guys with
whew,
they're
double-digit
gonna win Super Bowl.
sacks, yeah, they're going to AFC Championship game.
that's the thing. You were talking earlier about, rushing around, the integrity of the pocket. But obviously, the interior guys. I mean, it's a direct line, right? So I mean, you're
You need to
you're close.
You need to find a team with an interior offensive line like the Titans
Yeah, then you could
to
feast.
play against.
Exactly.
If the Titans could play against the Titans, boom.
I can see it now. The training camp storylines are going to come around and be like, guys, Jeffrey Simmons and John Franklin
Yeah.
Myers looking really good
15
in training
sacks.
camp.
What
It's
does
like,
it
really?
mean? What
Are
does
they?
it mean? Well, what if they look
Who
bad?
did Arden Key torch on a daily basis? Was it Petit Frere? Is that who it was?
There was some Petit Frere. There was also, I think, some
Dennis Daly?
Dennis Daly.
Dillard, you name
Dillard.
it. I mean,
Dennis
he had-
Daly.
It's like, wow, it's Arden Key out there is lighting it up.
He had a buffet of bad tackles at his disposal.
Yeah, Austin Stanley was asking every day, how many sacks did you have today? He's like, 8. 6.
Then you watched Arden Key in the game, and you're like, oh, well, that's not very good. Maybe the Titans' offensive line sucks.
Fun camp.
7
storyline.
plays a year. You'd be like, whoa, look at that guy.
I'm a big fan of Paul Kuharsky at paulkuharsky.com.
Kuharsky.
BK, thank you for being with us.
Original abbreviation of my name, like Ham and Burr in Hamilton, which I saw last weekend. Don't block the box. Be sure to lock your locks.
Especially you, Rexrode. That does it for us today.
Yes.
You're on the program.
BT
Next man up.
Cruisers.
Coming up next, you're listening to 102.5 The Game.